Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to another live stream of Sober Talk. It's a later one than usual, but that seems to be the thing as of this week. My schedule has been wacky jacky. Okay, well, it is good to see you, Queen. Sorry about the delay on tonight's stream, but hey, but like I put in the description, better late than never, right? Oh, there we go. I lied down for a little bit because I was tired and everything. Man, oh man, I crashed hard. But I am okay. I am okay. So it's good to see everyone tonight. We had an interesting live, I believe, yesterday. All right, we had an interesting live stream. It was fun. It was exciting. We had a good time. Misty Ranson, welcome to the live stream. Oh, I fell asleep. I was really tired. They had me work. They had me work today. There it is. They had me work from 4 to 1 to 4 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon, and I hadn't done that in like a week. And of course, we know why I hadn't done that in like a week. You know, Well, yesterday I started a lot earlier than usual, and then today I just got a late jump. That's all that happened. It's good to see y'all tonight, man. Oh man. Yesterday was a fun stream though. It was definitely probably a little different than you guys are used to. So that's something we might look at doing on Sundays is live streaming Legend of Zelda games. Um, And of course, my two all-time favorites is Legend of Zelda, the original, and Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Um, who knows? That might be a thing. That might be a thing. Ooh. Okay. I see a new person. Misty Ranson was here. I don't know if they're still here or not. But welcome to the live stream and welcome to Sober Talk. In tonight's Sober Talk, what you will expect to talk about sobriety. I'm actually a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous. I've got actually my sober date is February 7th, 2006. So I have over 14 years of continuous sobriety in Alcoholics Anonymous. And when I say sobriety, um, there you go. Thanks. Uh, when when I talk about continuous sobriety, what do I mean? What do I mean by sobriety and Alcoholics Anonymous? No drugs, no alcohol. That includes marijuana. No, I don't touch that stuff either. Which even when I was still out there drinking, I really didn't touch that stuff. Uh, no offense to anyone who that's their thing, but I found that bashing my head against the wall, I could get the same effect. So that is, but yeah, I was, so when I say completely sober, that's exactly what I mean. I don't even touch that. Uh, I do still smoke cigarettes and I drink a lot of coffee. That's about it, you know. So welcome to the live stream and welcome to Sober Talk. You'll find that Sober Talk, um, you will also find that there's talk about God. But when I say talk about God, we don't talk religion. We talk spirituality, and to kind of clear that up, kind of give you an idea. What is the difference between spirituality and religion? Is simply defined. Religion is a group of people who believe in God along the same lines for the most part, because there's still going to be differences of opinion. That being said, spirituality is your own personal relationship with the God of your understanding. So we do talk that. I don't talk religion. And because it is Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't talk politics. I don't talk anything other than sobriety. And this is completely out of respect for Alcoholics Anonymous, because if it had not been for Alcoholics Anonymous, I would not be here today. So I owe my existence to the program of AA and the 12 steps that have been provided in that program. Mm. So now that I've laid all that down for you, it is so good to see everyone tonight. So let's get, let me get a couple more things. Whoa! Oh, Ian, you're a crack up, man. I wouldn't have you any other way. No, Princess Faye is still at work. She will not be home until much later on tonight. If I remember correctly, she won't. Um, her job will not be closing its doors because she's closing manager for the next 5 nights straight. And so that throws that again will throw Sexy Saturday into a tizzy. But we're going to be live streaming from a car show Saturday, so it's not going to matter. We're going to still get awesome in Saturday. So heads up. I, Prince Mac, am going to be going south of where I live to Jackson, Missouri this Saturday. I'm going to be going down there to display Project Spirit to kind of also advertise the channel at the same time. It's not a from what I understand. Yeah, yeah. I complained about that, because every time you turn around, that seems to be a thing that Sexy Saturday gets messed with. And I'm like, really? And she won't, Princess Faye won't do it if she comes home late from work. So if she gets out like 10:30, 11 o'clock, she won't do it. Yeah. Oh yeah. She's been telling me that she's been playing Fortnite with you and said that you've been that she's having a lot of fun playing Fortnite with you. And that's awesome. I'm really glad you guys are having a great time. That's really awesome. And she's asking, she's been asking when I'm going to basically be downloading it to my computer. And I'm like, might just have to do that. Might just have to do that. And Ian, you missed it yesterday. If you and I knew you did that extra long stream, and I wasn't sure if you were going to be up or not, but I was actually going to the ending of yesterday's stream when we took on basically yesterday was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I live streamed it for you guys. And if you'd have been able to make it, we were going to let you decide how I was going to go in, what armor set Link was going to be wearing, and what mode of transportation I was going to be taking, because I was going to literally leave it up to the mode of transportation would have decided would. We went live yesterday. I went live yesterday. It had been 4 o'clock my time, and see if when I go 7 o'clock my time is 1 o'clock in the morning for you. So it would have been about 10 o'clock your time when we went live yesterday. 10 o'clock p.m. yesterday, your time. I think 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it would have been 10 o'clock p.m. yesterday when we went live. And because I knew I was going to do a good sized stream because I wanted to just enjoy Breath of the Wild with you guys. And that was a lot of fun. So Princess Faye and I did talk. Sundays we're going to try to do some stuff with Legend of Zelda, because you guys know my love for that game. And there is kind of talk about me beating the original in a live stream. Basically, start right at the beginning and go until we beat that freaking game. And there's talk about that. And we might try that this Sunday, beating the original Legend of Zelda game live for you guys. I think that would be so freaking awesome. I would love to do that for you guys. So that would be fun. I mean, I'm telling you straight up honest. That would be a lot of fun. I think we'd have a great time. All right. Um, so that is pretty much it. Oh, and I've got to place an order, but there's a we may have the new shift linkage, and it's from a company, Locar. They make shifters and all sorts of stuff. So they've been around for years in the hot rod community. Well, we were looking, and Locar has a shift linkage. It's going to be about 65 bucks that I need to put on order. How am I doing today? Well, I am doing fantastic. You know, I had a miracle happen to me today. I woke up this morning and I found it not necessary to take a drink. Any day that happens is still truly a miracle, let me tell you. Even after 14 years, it is still a miracle when I get up and say that it's not necessary to take a drink today. Um, Especially early in the mornings for me. That was one of the times I'd love to drink was when I first got up. That's when I had to start, wanted to start getting numb before I had to deal with the world. Of course, some people today say you almost need it today to deal with the world. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Okay. So now that we've gotten that all out of the way, and everything is underway, first things first, let's talk about, uh, let me ask you all tonight. That is true. Changing the definition of a drink. Ian, yes, I do have kids. I have 5 children. Um, Sometime we'll have to talk a little bit why you don't hear them running around screaming. Well, what 3 of my kids are actually teenagers, but that's another subject for another time we'll have to talk about. Okay. The first 2, I will say, I drank away. Their mother packed up everyone's bags and left me behind because, well, I was a mess. I was a hot mess at that time. That was what drove me into sobriety. But the other 3, we don't talk about a whole lot because that's kind of a sore subject. As a matter of fact, that takes us into politics. It's one of the reasons why we won't talk about that, especially in sober talk. All that I will say is those 3 children have never seen daddy drunk, and that's the way it should be. What's going on, Harold's Random Videos? Welcome to the live stream. It is so good to see you, my friend. Um, Harold here, this guy's awesome too. Dear friend, and I've been trying to get him to holler at me. To drop me an email, so I can then turn right around and because I got a collab job I want to do with him. There's a really cool collab job I want to do with him, and I think it'll be so much fun. But I'm gonna need his help. We're gonna have some fun with this. Because I think because I know when he does the remixes of music, um, I know there's some video footage that he could definitely use from my channel, and his help with remix music. I need his help with, so it would make a hell of a collab job. So, all righty. Let's talk about tonight. Like I said, I got a late jump and everything, because I was really, again, I worked today from 4 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And currently right now, my time, it is 7:45. What's going on, Mike G? It's good to see you, buddy. Mike G was with us off and on throughout yesterday's stream. We had a good time yesterday, didn't we? Got to see me tell you. Okay, son of a gun. We're gonna go get us a pencil. What's going on, Blucky? Live stream, my man. It's good to see y'all tonight. Man, Sober Talk is always one that gets a lot of people in here. That and Sexy Saturdays. Again, heads up, we are going to be Princess Faye will not be able to join me for the live and for the car show. So Project Lena will not be on display Saturday, but Project Spirit will be. As a matter of fact, they're going to drive about an hour and a half south of where I live to the location where Project Spirit will be showed. And every year they have a car show down in Jackson, Missouri. And the car club that's down there is just absolutely amazing. But we will definitely be going live for a little while Saturday. Oh man. Well, I'm glad you were there yesterday, Mike. It was so much fun, wasn't it? I mean, we had a great time. Had a great time yesterday. All right, hang on just a second. I have got to get um got to get Harold's email addresses. T27. I got you, man. All right. Harold, if you don't want to leave those up there, I've got your email address now. Your one through Gmail. I'm going to shoot you an email. Make sure make sure you got mine, and that way we can get in touch with each other. All right. I am feeling a lot better these days. I'm exhausted, today, but yeah, it is so good to see y'all today. You know, we got so many wonderful people here in the live today, and the Prince Magnum channel is very much proud of the fact that we have people as far away as the UK. We even have a few people over in Aussie, uh, Australia, the wonderful people in the land down under. Good people down there too. So we're very fortunate, and every now and again we get lucky. And we even have some people even from the Philippines that show up. They're really amazing when they do. So we got people from all over the world occasionally joining us, and all tonight, all about sobriety. There you go. Actually, I heard it did. I heard it did. I heard that it was sitting at one hundo. Congratulations. Um, I thought tonight would be kind of fun to talk a little bit about the fact that here we are. Um, I'm getting closer to my birthday. Uh, what we say in AA, your belly button birthday, and then at the same time, um, the same day is that halfway marker. I didn't plan it, but when I got sober on February 7th, well, 6 months later to the day is my actual birthday. So, so every 6 months I get something, I get one of the, I guess you could say the anniversary of my birth, and then the anniversary of me being reborn into life, if you will. Um, and I tell you all, when that happens, that I always treat my birthday as kind of like, what have I learned this year? What have I learned in Alcoholics Anonymous? Where do I stand? I always leave that as a good spot to ask that question. What am I learning? What have I done? And what have I done for the program? What have I done for the program? So here we are, we're getting closer. Um, you know, Commented on one of my older videos. Now I'm gonna have to see which one. I'm gonna have to find out. But oh, real quick, for those of you who are in the Discord, I put a Legend of Zelda video up. I did that one for my son. If y'all get a moment, go over, even if you don't watch, but maybe a minute, even if it's like 30 seconds, at least go over to that video. that I posted on the Discord. That's one that I had actually done for my son. If you, my son Devin, if you guys get a chance, go in and comment on that video. But when you go in and comment, just tell my son, just hi, hi Devin, that sort of thing. Because it's for my son. If you guys think about it, go over there and leave a comment on that video because he every now and again he watch my daddy did this video for me, so yeah, it's for my 12-year-old son. He's actually gonna be 13 in January. So if you guys think about it, get over to that particular video and leave a comment on it saying and nothing for me, but just say hi Devin and hit and then that way you know it's my way of it was that whole video for my son. As a matter of fact, this is one of the joys of sobriety for me, because this is he was the first one of my children that never seen daddy um it's in my Discord, Maverick Nation. I guess you could say Maverick Nation US, not UK. um so that's where that one is. It's on that one. And it'll be in the general chat. It's a couple spots where I left actually, it's a little bit above the Legend of Zelda emojis the little gifts that I put in there. I try to be a really good dad. I really do. Some days it's not. Some days I do really well. Other days I don't. And see, again, in sobriety, three of my children have never seen daddy drunk, and I am so grateful for that. I mean, you guys, my first two, they seen it. Oh God, did they see it? Whether or not they knew it, they seen it. It was a real deal. It was a reality. They seen daddy drunk. And I got to live with that. I got to live with, how I acted while I was drunk. Um, I have to live with that. Um, and for the rest of my life, I'll be making amends on that. Bear in mind, when I talk amends, let me also reiterate. Whenever you hear me talk about the ninth step, how you made amends to people where, that you had harmed wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Um, Sober man taught me, and this is something he taught me. He said to me, when we went over that step, he said, Prince Magnum, he said, now, uh, he said, let me say right now, we alcoholics are the greatest talkers um, of all time. We know how to talk a big game. And these people that we harmed, they know that we're, how do you put it? He said, they know that we're already sorry sons of, you know, well, here. He said, they already know we're sorry son of a bitches. He said, skip it. He said, they already know it. He said, how many times in our past did we say, I'm sorry, and then turn right around and screw them over again? He said, don't bother telling them you're sorry. They already know that. He said, ask what you could do to make it right. And someone then later on, I heard him talking about it in a meeting. They said, the difference between just saying, you say you're sorry and that's it. But making amends is different. Think of if you broke somebody's fence and now you're back there fixing that fence. You're mending it. So think about it like that. Oh, thank you, Mike G. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So he basically said, that was the difference. He said, he said, you're fixing it. He said, you're doing what you can to make it right. Don't tell him you're sorry. Okay. Mm. So that was something he taught me. Now, when we sat down and did my eighth step, he also basically explained to me, he said, there are some amends you're going to be working on. There's some amends that you're going to be working on for the rest of your natural life. He said, that is going to be something that you're going to be doing. and with my children that's seen daddy drunk and all that other stuff. I'll be working on those amends for the rest of my life. But I have a lifetime to make that right. Okay. In the meantime, I'm doing what I can by trying to stay sober. So that's what it is. Um, you know, Today that's where I'm fortunate, you know, um, that's where I'm fortunate. You know, I got sober and I've been trying to do the right thing for a long time. Do I always manage to do it? Nope. I sometimes fall flat on my face. That's something that I've been meaning to kind of tell you guys, more and more. I know a lot of y'all think the world of me, and I appreciate that. But I still fall flat on my face. I'm still human. Um, woo. Ian's getting protective of me, and thank goodness, because I'll tell you right now, Ian's an amazing friend. Um, I know, I know if I will today right now, Ian's one of the ones, Mike G, actually all of you in here, I pretty well know that if I said, man, I'm feeling like a drink right now, I know any one of you would find any way imaginable to talk me through and, that sort of thing. Um, you guys would try to talk me through that drink, you know, and, that's just one of those awesome things that, I'm very fortunate because I've met so many of you out there that watch my back like you wouldn't believe, but you guys get very protective over me and you guys get very protective of my sobriety. And I'm very grateful. Um, you know, I'm very grateful for that. Alcoholics Anonymous gave me that. It gave me that opportunity to make so many friends like you guys out there in the YouTube community. There's so many of you have uh, that have come in, and we've all become good friends. And I can't imagine what today without all of you. Um, it's that's one of those awesome things. Actually, I have two sons. I have three daughters and two sons. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. You know, um, that's one of those amazing things that I mean, so many of you guys watch me, always try to make sure that I'm okay and everything. When I pulled um you know when you know when I was going through that 19-day stretch, you all watched over me like a hawk. And I know Ian got really upset because he was away for a couple of days, kind of chilling and getting his bearings together. When he came back, he'd overheard that, well, he found out that I had collapsed at work, and he's like, "What the hell is going on? I'm away for a couple of days, and Prince Magnum's collapsing at work." And he found out why, because I got called in after one day off, and my store manager, I'm doing good. I mean, I worked today. I worked about 9 hours today, 8.5 if you exclude my break. And I came back home. I was really, really tired, so I lied down and I rested up and everything. And I mean, I'm really tired, but not the tired that you would think. It's just like the body's a little tired, but the mind is still sharp. Oh my goodness. And there are times that it's hard to get me to Tyrone Duvall. I don't recognize you. Well, welcome to the live stream. You know, Tonight is Sober Talk here on the Prince Magnum channel. And with Sober Talk, we talk about sobriety. I'm actually a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous. What the what? Sorry about that. Someone was trying to get a hold of me, and it's like, whoa, whoa, I'm in the middle of a live stream. I'm in the middle of a live stream. Um, oh, um, where was I? Come on, brain cell. So we talk about sobriety in here, And being a sober member of AA, I will tell you all right now, I'm very grateful for my sobriety. And February 7th, 2006 is my sober date. Um, Being sober as a sober member of AA has been so much fun. I have so many amazing stories that I've gotten to enjoy in sobriety, and it all has to do with all I had to do was go into Alcoholics Anonymous. Uh, so I mean, yeah, I'm holding up right now. I'm holding up fine. The body's just a little tired yet, but I've got the whole weekend off. And I told them all to work, don't even try to reach me Saturday morning. I won't be in town. I'm going to be in Jackson. You guys, I mean, you'll be able to get a hold of me, but I won't be able to come into work because I'm going to be out of town. So don't even try. So I already warned them. Um, so that is what is up. Um, So even Ian's man, he watches over me like a hawk. He's a good guy, and I'll tell y'all right now, um, you know, that's one of the cool things about about getting sober is I've made so many amazing friends in sobriety. I can't thank you all enough for that. Oh, thank you, Misty. I appreciate that. If you guys come in and I don't see y'all regularly, it's real easy. So if you guys have been in here a lot before, and I am having a hard time. You have to excuse me. Because of the channel, I meet so many people in the live streams and along the way, so I have a hard time remembering people right away. If you kind of jog my memory a little bit, if you've been in here before or anything like that, just bear with me. I'm old. I suffer from CRS. Can't remember. So that is really exciting that so many of you come in here and we talk about my sobriety. We talk about what's going on. Shoot, we talk about cars. I got a transmission in my office. Um, that's still a gag for me because we had to haul that dang thing up here. That thing is heavy. Transmission, automatic transmissions are not light. um, Queen. Which I heard Queen Bee's voice for the first time. What was it last night? How do you become a mod? Stick around. If I get to know you over time, you know, you know, basically, if you stick around, I get to know you, and that sort of thing. That's pretty much it. Or if I've known you. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, honestly, um, honestly, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's nice to hear your voice. To kind of put a voice with with the name and everything. And see, I'm one of those ones that, like Ian doing the like, seeing Ian on, on it, to be able to put a face with the voice is so cool. Well, the blue, basically, when I'm talking about moderators, just stick around, hang out with us, let me get to know you. And after a little while, you know, once you hang out with us a little bit and we all get to know you a little bit, I throw the blue wrench your direction and it's your job to help watch my back. That's just kind of how it works, you know. Um, Yeah, he's allowed to give his opinion. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. I trust you guys. You know, um, so that's really what it boils down to. Yeah. And I mean, come on. You know, so for me, sobriety is all about, a lot of a lot of the big focus today is what can I do right? And so far, like I said, you know, mainly the big thing I wanted to talk about today was how, the blessings that I've been given in sobriety. And here we are now, the channel's growing. I'm getting to know a lot more people out there in the world of sobriety. And see, everyone's watching me, watches over me today. And see, that's one of the joys of sobriety for me. I mean, y'all watch me like, watch out for me like you wouldn't believe. And uh I've made so many friends just even here on YouTube, you know. And again, I'm very blessed, with the fact that so many of you are here today. And we've built kind of our own little niche here on YouTube. I mean, what an amazing niche that we have now here on YouTube. So many wonderful friends. And, you know, that's the joys of sobriety for me. That's what it's all about. You know, so many of you guys, I mean, you guys are awesome. And, when I went live Sunday and was talking about how I had to be real about the fact that I'm getting older and I don't bounce back like I used to, you all were right there, you know, and you guys let me really talk about what was eating my lunch that day. And that's awesome. You know, that is so awesome for me. I mean, that you guys let me talk about what was eating my lunch. And I'm very blessed again. You know, I was upset that I couldn't carry on like I normally carry on, you know. Mm, there you go. Thank you, everyone. Hi, honey. Good to see you, honey. I wish you were home. I miss you. For those that do not know, Fei Rue is my beautiful, lovely wife that I refer to as Princess Fei Rue. And I couldn't imagine life without her. I wish she was home right now, but, she got to work, got to make that living, you know. Tomorrow, I know that's all awesome. You know, I will say right now that it sucks that. Okay, Ian, it's okay, man. Um, um, if you're feeling like you gotta go, go blow off some steam, go for it, man. If we're still, if you're feeling it, come on back, and we'll, I'll still be here. If not, you need to shout out at me, it seems like it's just one of them kind of days, honey. I don't know what's going on there, but it seems like it's one of them kind of days where, we're all kind of misconnecting sometimes. It happens. It happens. Um, so that's what's up. Um, Everyone take it easy. Take it easy. It's all good. Everyone's, we're here, we're now. Yeah, well, yeah. See, I think that was the problem. I don't think he was necessarily making fun of the kids, but I think what it boiled down to is, right, right. Yeah. See, yeah. So let's let it go. Let it go. Move on. Move on. We got a million. We got other fish to fry. We're all that matters tonight is that we're all here. We're all together. We're all talking about sobriety. I mean, that's one of the things about the Maverick Nation. In a lot of ways, we're a lot like family, and family's kind of like brownies. Awfully sweet, but with a few nuts mixed in. And that's just kind of what we're dealing with tonight. And see, that's okay. That's okay. You know, we can deal with that. We can deal with that. We can live with that. And this is one of the growing pains of our little our little niche, if you will. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. There you go. Thank you, honey. And you know, I mean, we have carved out our own little niche here on YouTube. We do, again, we got the DIY side of it all. We got, and we come from all walks of life here on the Prince Magnum channel. So many of you come from so many different walks of life. For those that don't know, um, Mr. Gamer Ian BRFC is actually a veteran of Her Majesty's Royal Marine Corps. When he told me that, I I will tell you all right now, I've never felt so honored in my life to have someone like that. I mean, we got a lot of, the Prince Magnum channel has veterans of all sizes and shape here in the United States passing through. But I was like, wow. I mean, this is someone that, well, when he told me when he was in, it could have easily been that him and I could have rubbed shoulders because at about time he was serving his country. Um, I was actually supposed to be in the U.S. Navy, and if he would have been injured, the U.S. would have been on the ground in that area, uh, which he was over in Egypt. So we may not have actually had contact with each other. Um, but but I was actually looking at doing my time in Afghanistan, but I was denied military service because I actually suffered already from post-traumatic stress disorder, which at that time it was still called post-traumatic stress syndrome. Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things that I think a lot of times, let's just say that there are a few mods that are on my radar, but Blucky's not one of them. He just kind of types a little weird and rubs some people the wrong way. But, um, I know that sometime here in the near future that that moderators will be getting more control than they ever did. There's a couple of them that'll have a lot more control. More in particular, my wife. Yeah, so it's one of those deals, and Princess Faye, she pretty well knows what's up. You haven't seen that wrestling match? Oh man, you're missing out. You're missing out. Uh, I've been trying to also make myself more easily accessible where some of my dear some of you all out there could get a hold of me a little bit easier. I've always made it where if you've got my email address, just ask me and I'll send you my phone number. And if you ever wanted to have a private conversation with me, you could. Um, it's kind of like that. And um, that's one of those things that if you guys ever wanted to have just needed someone to talk to, you guys can. That's something that I've actually been trying to make a little bit easier for you all, that you all could get a hold of me a lot easier. Um, I know for like those of you over in the UK, we would have to use Facebook Messenger, which that's not a super big deal. Oh, okay. I'll give him a holler. He sent me a message and I was actually asleep and then I had to go live. Oh, really? You got something? Okay. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. See? What's going on, Harrison? So that's what's up, I mean, there's so many of you guys that watch over me in sobriety. Okay, honey, I loves you. I loves you. It is so good to see you all tonight. And, uh, I also encourage my moderators, don't be afraid to joke with me and tease with me, even in the live stream. You know, um, feel free to just hang out with me, chit chat, all that good stuff. Um, it's all about us. Harrison is not a crock pot. Harrison, for those that don't know, Harrison Ford Universe, um, for those that do not know, Harrison Ford, he what he does is he teases me because I got a slow cooker, and Crockpot, is a brand of a slow cooker, and I don't have an actual crock pot. I've got an off brand of it. I know it, you ornery cuss. And he's been teasing me for what, dang near 3 weeks on that. We have so much fun here on the channel. I wouldn't have it any other way. And again, that's one of the great joys of sobriety that I get to enjoy. You guys come in here, and I don't think y'all realize. uh, that's one of the joys of sobriety for me is, we all come in here and we have such a great time talking about, how this old fallen down drunk walked into AA, and here we are now. If you guys seen what I was like before I got sober, and here we are now, all this time later. Well, she might watch she might watch the playback if she's stuck at work, later on. I'll tell y'all right now, so she'll spot that. I'll tell y'all right now, my wife has never seen me drunk, but my wife has got to see where I stood up in front of, it was like, there was like 270 something other recovering alcoholics in the room. I think the number, yeah. We were all sitting, I had just gotten voted in as alternate DCM for my district, and we went up to area assembly. So there was like 200 and something people there. And I was sitting at a table, and I had just moved away from District 16. And then here we are now, I'm in District 6. So District 16 was sitting on one side of the table, and District 6 was sitting on the opposite side. So we're all sitting there, and I was in District 16. And and now I'm the alternate DCM for District 6, and I was the chairperson for the public information slash cooperation with the professional community committee for District 16. So I left them, was now in District 6 as alternate DCM. And it was so funny because when all this happened, Princess Faye was literally sitting right next to me, and the DCM was on the other side. And it was, so there was all these people there, and we had topics that we were supposed to talk about at that, at that particular area assembly. And what ends up happening is that, I'm like, Blucky, we love you just the way you are. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. We're all here. We're all now. That's all that matters. Okay. That's already happened, a little while ago. Let's worry about what we're talking about now. So I'm sitting there. It's okay. We all make mistakes. It's all good. It's all good. That's what's up. So what ends up happening is, we had to talk on the topic, how, because Alcoholics Anonymous has to, all right. Mike, if you'll make sure that's in the Discord, because I will mess that up, man. I'll mess that up. I won't be able to grab the link until like tomorrow because it takes forever for the final loading and processing and everything else. Could you drop that in the Discord for me? That way I can grab it and immediately right after the live. Um, but so we're in this huge area assembly meeting, and the topic we had to talk on was oh shoot, hang on. We had to talk on the whole because Alcoholics Anonymous talks about money, because we have to talk about money. Alcoholics Anonymous takes in, yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, in general chat will be perfect. I'll grab it. Because AA does get a lot of donations. I mean, you wouldn't think a whole lot, but there is donations. Like, for example, I think there's like, a couple million that goes to AA World Services, and that really doesn't cover as much as you might think. So to kind of give you an idea, we operate with a small amount of money, but you have to make that small amount of money spread an awful lot, to give you an idea. So now that I've said that, here we are, we're in this, I'm getting mixed up here. We're in this area assembly, and it's my first one as an alternate DCM. And of all the things, okay, it's my first one as alternate DCM, and it was so cool. Because the topic we had to talk on, how does money and spirituality and reaching a newcomer, how does that all come together? And I was listening to some people, and they would clap, yay, and that sort of thing. And I decided that I was going to go up there and talk on the topic and it was my first time being in front of a group that large. Before that, the biggest I'd talked to was like 100 and something in a room, so this was like 100 more. And I will admit, I got a little nervous. So I went up there and, talked about how I was, how different I was coming in. And the groups loved me back to health. That, I didn't really hear of talk of money until until a little bit later on when I got involved into a home group, and we started seeing money drop into, AA sends around a basket, and what they tell you is drop at least $1 in the basket, $2 if it's your home group. That's all they ask. If you haven't got that, it's totally fine. We've all been there. Shoot. And you'll hear us say that in a meeting, drop, that the money, the home group should actually talk about where, groups should actually talk of where the money goes. AA World Services, it goes to the area assembly and things like that. So why are you dropping that dollar in there? And AA groups usually have to pay some sort of rent to help keep, for the meeting place, and that meeting place has to keep the lights on. So that's one of the reasons why we have it in churches and things like that. So if you ever wondered about AA service structure and you've never, wondered about that, what's going on, Coffee Queen? Folks, let's take a moment here. We have a dear friend here on the Prince Magnum channel right now, Miss Coffee Queen. She used to go by Miss Kelly, a very, very dear, special friend of mine here on the Prince Magnum channel right now. Miss Coffee Queen, also known as Miss Kelly, one of the dear friends in a Facebook group that I'm a part of, a great community called the Sunnies. Just a very sweet, wonderful friend, not only to me, but to the entire Prince Magnum channel community at large, the Maverick Nation. She's one of our dear Lady Mavericks that when she gets the opportunity to come over to the Prince Magnum channel. Absolutely fantastic. Painkiller, welcome to the live. Oh my goodness, we got the Sunnies representing, a wonderful cornerstone of the Maverick Nation. The Sunnies were all about, building each other up. What's going on? Oh my goodness. Jamie, welcome to the live. Oh my gosh, so many of you. Hang on. We got to hand out some wrenches real quick because we have the Sunnies here. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Wow, this is awesome. Sunny's in the chat supporting me staying sober. This is so exciting. Man, got to throw some wrenches out. Midnight Cool. Oh my gosh, Midnight Cool is here. Oh, we got a Sunny happening. Oh my gosh. That is so freaking awesome. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much. Sunny is straight up rating the Prince Magnum channel. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Kelly. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. We were just talking about the AA service structure and what happens to the money. And I was actually getting ready to telling the story about how my wife actually got to see me in front of, believe it or not, over 270 other people in recovery, just like me. That is what is up, and I was just talking about that. For those that do not know, I am a recovering member of Alcoholics Anonymous. My sober date is February 7th, 2006. That's when I walked in. That's when I said I cannot carry on with life the way that it was going. And I went into outpatient treatment and they led me to Alcoholics Anonymous. And today I am over 14 years sober. As of this, oh my gosh, Sunny's raid. This is so awesome. You guys are amazing. I'm going to get all misty-eyed on you. I've raided other people's channels, but I've never been raided. And this is what is up. Oh my God. You guys are awesome. Man, that makes my day. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me, And, there was a time I was a falling down drunk, did not know how I was going to live life without a drink or a drug. Lived my life in the bottom of a bottle. And here we are now, over 14 years later. And there's so many of you. Oh my gosh, Mr. Wonderful. Oh man, Mr. Wonderful Heggs. Oh man, you guys, Midnight Cool and Painkiller, you guys are here hanging with good old Prince Magnum, talking about sobriety. And this year has been rough. I've been wanting to go to AA meetings, but I've not been able to get to any AA meetings at all because of this pandemic. It sucks because I love going to AA meetings. And sometime I've got to get Sober Man, my sponsor, Sober Man, here in the live stream. Sober Man has been sponsoring me off and on for the entire 14 years I've been sober. And he will tell you, all Prince Magnum has been, one of my most successful, sponsees. And he's had a tough time because, the Prince Magnum channel and everything, he's still trying to figure out how to sponsor me because of the YouTube channel, but he has done whether he knows it or not, he's done an amazing job because I'm still sober. And I mean, I have my shaky moments where, you guys got to remember at this point in time, it's not so much that alcohol is the problem anymore. What goes on between my ears, there's so many things I struggle with still to this day. And, if it wasn't for Sober Man, that's, man, you guys are awesome. And Mike G's here. We got so many people from all around the world right now. We've got people from the UK. For those that do not know, oh my gosh, Simon's here. Oh man, good Lord, we got a big Sonny's raid tonight. Oh, you guys are gonna make me cry. That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, Gosh dang, I'm gonna have a cigarette and calm myself down because my goodness, here we are now. I'm, it's sober talk. Just about, all right now. Since y'all are here and y'all are hanging with me, you know what? We're gonna get me a cigarette. Well, it's a little cigar. It's one of the last nasty habits I truly got left. But let us talk about something I think you guys will enjoy. How's the ankle? It's doing good. It's healed up, actually. My ankle's all healed up now. Now I'm going to have to tell y'all an amazing sober story. Because I started talking about AA service. For those that do not know, oh, thank you so much. You guys are the ones that are awesome. Let me say this right now, as a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, I was a fallen down drunk. I was a guy that, most people tend to forget that there was a time that I could not put down that bottle, That's right. Well, let's go back in time. When I got into Alcoholics Anonymous, I was a very violent drunk. And for those that do not know, I also suffer from PTSD. So problems other than just alcohol. And I would oftentimes numb my PTSD with alcohol. So that just made matters worse. And for those that do not know, alcoholics, this is actually a commonplace issue. And, so I was a fallen, my goodness. Right. Man, so many of you guys. Now I'm going to have to tell a really awesome sober story. All right. Since we got a lot of people here from the Sunnies, I'm going to go ahead and tell a story. It's the most heartbreaking story I've got. And bear in mind, though, it does have a happy ending so far. Okay. So for my fellow Sunnies, sit back on this one. Grab a tissue box because I know I'm going to cry, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to cry. Okay? Every man who has loved a woman has two stories. Who's ever fallen in love has two stories out there. And those two stories is the one that broke his heart and the one that got away. I have both. And I am no exception to this rule. Every man has two stories. The one that broke his heart and the one that got away. I don't talk much about the one that got away, but I will talk about the one that broke my heart, and it wasn't her fault. Okay? When I was still out there drinking, and I was kind of on again, off again with my high school sweetheart, and we have two children together. The oldest of those two children is an 18-year-old daughter. Right behind her is a 16-year-old daughter today. Okay? For those that do not know, I'm old enough to be a grandpa now. And here's what happened. I just pulled down a 16-hour shift at the nursing home. For those that do not know, I used to work the medical field, and after my stroke, Supreme Anime, I'll get a hold of you right after the live. Long story, I'll get a hold of you. Let me holler at you in a little bit. Got a lot of irons in the fire tonight for whatever reason. I don't know. But anyhow, what happens is I just pulled down a 16-hour shift in the nursing home I was working in. And after I pulled down that 16-hour, of all the things, just pulled down that 16-hour, and I came home, to an empty apartment. My ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance had packed up our two daughters and left in the middle of the night. She was done with me, and the kids were scared to death of me, you know. I'll be right there with you opening tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sorry. Long story. I fell asleep and I was out for a good while. There you go. That's what's up. You know, so um, so I lied down and I just crashed out, brother. I'm sorry I didn't get a hold of you right away, but yeah, let me catch up with you later on. That's what's up. But anyhow, I came home to an empty apartment. And, I'm 26 years old at this time. And I rush around my apartment just looking for signs. Maybe she didn't leave. Maybe this was supposed to be my wake up call. There you go. That's what's up. And that actually sounds really good. So it was kind of like, um, I rushed around the apartment looking for signs. Maybe she was just getting back at me saying it's time to straighten up my act. But no, she straight up left. She was done. And on again, off again for 10 years, And so that was pretty much it. She was done with me. And I got to in the apartment, I got to the middle of the kitchen, collapsed to my knees, and started crying, saying, God, how could it have gotten this bad? And that was the end. So, all right, brother, I'll catch up with you. So, again, I know I was supposed to give you a holler, but doggone it, I would. Them 8.5 hour shifts are killing me. 8.5 to 9 hours are killing me. I can't work that stuff like that. I'm still recuperating from 19 days straight, So here I am, I'm like, how could it have gotten this bad? And I'm sitting there like, why? Why is it this way? And that sort of thing. And, I went on a bender for the next 2 days straight. And at the end of that 2 days, I'm sitting on my couch, I'm hungover and all this stuff. I'm like, why is it, how could it have gotten this bad? And I didn't want to go on living. And, so I sat down on my couch, hungover, and I pull out a loaded 357 Magnum, loaded all 6 chambers, and it's like, this is it. I'm done. I was checking out of life, guys. That's what it was going to be at that time. And, I loaded the gun and I cocked that hammer, put it under my chin. And let me tell y'all, okay, I have that 357 loaded for bear. Okay. I had that sucker loaded for bear. Let me tell you. And, I cocked that hammer, put it under my chin, was about to squeeze that trigger. Phone rings. And I jumped and I should have pulled that trigger, but I didn't. I don't know what prevented me. It's one of those God things that we talk about in Alcoholics Anonymous. It wasn't my time. So I jumped, almost pulled the trigger, but I didn't. And I don't know why to this day, but I answered the phone and it was a friend of mine named Tanya. And, Tanya, right? Hey, Mike, you get it, man. So, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I answered the phone and Tanya, my friend, who actually was one of the only friends that still talked to me initially when I first got sober. My family didn't even talk to me when I got sober. They didn't even know what to do with me. They didn't even know, where to begin with me. And, my cigar went out. Well, what ends up happening is Tanya, somehow she knew there was something wrong, but I don't know exactly how she knew. She's like, Prince Magnum, what are you doing? I said, I'm sitting here on the couch. What are you really doing? I said, I'm sitting here on the couch. Um, I have my 357. I was just about to, I was just about to end it. And she did what any good non-alcoholic friend would do. She began chewing me out. And I mean, she started chewing me out hardcore. And believe it or not, I have, but that's another story for another time. She started chewing me out hardcore for about a half an hour, like any good friend would. And then she talked me into going to outpatient treatment. I go to outpatient treatment and they send me to my first AA meeting. And that story is history, today. That is a wonderful history. But she was the only friend that really supported me outside of alcoholics and outside of an AA meeting for the longest time. I was very alone too. Oh my goodness. But she was the only one that said, hey, Prince Magnum's trying to do right. Y'all need to get behind him. She was the one. She was the one. She was also the one that held me when I would go through withdrawals. And I remember one time, Tanya, I was going through withdrawals. I was shaking and I was sweating, but I felt cold. And I hurt everywhere. Oh my God, I will never forget that pain of going through withdrawals. And everything feels like it's miles away. Like everything's in a daze. It's just so weird what withdrawals are like. And I was going through this and I was hurting. Oh my gosh, I was in so much pain. And I was out in the smoke shed at work when this hit me. I was smoking a cigarette and I was crying because I was in so much pain. And Tanya held me and I'm crying on her shoulders saying, I just want a drink to make the pain go away. And she's like, don't you dare. I'm not going through this anymore with you. She's like, we got to get through this. You're going to get through this. Don't you start drinking on me again. I said, I'm not going to. I said, but gosh dang it, it hurts right now. Gosh dang it, a drink would make this go away. And I'm crying because of how much pain I'm in and everything. And, she gets me through this. For my first month and a half of sobriety, Tanya got to watch me get sober. And I'm getting ready to start my fourth step. And things were changing. Let me explain to you what I mean by things were changing. At that time, Tanya was getting ready to go through a divorce, but at the same time, she was kind of seeing my best friend. And so I was afraid to tell her this. In that month and a half of my first month and a half sobriety, I ended up falling in love with Tanya. And I wanted so badly to tell her, but I didn't think it would be right. Come on, she's kind of seeing my best friend and, she's still going through a divorce and everything. So I didn't think it was quite right. But I was getting ready to start my fourth step. Sober man, basically, straight up, kind of called me out on my BS, and I got to work. I wanted to get to work on my fourth step, but I wasn't going to do it till I talked to Tanya and I started kind of telling her how I felt. And I didn't come out and say the words, but I came out and said, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And I basically told her, I said, people talk about living angels here in this world. You are a living angel. And I actually went so far as to say that I said, I consider myself blessed because, more than everybody else in the world, because I know you. And this is what I was telling her. I said, I know you. And I said, I have a wonderful person like you in my life. I said, the rest of the world doesn't know you like I get to. I said, I said, I am truly blessed because of the fact that I have someone like you in my life. So that should tell you how much I was truly in love with this woman. That was on a Tuesday. By Friday, she was in the hospital with what looked like pneumonia. And I started pulling down some serious hours at work. So I didn't get to see her in the hospital because they had her in ICU, and they wouldn't let us go back and see her. And to tell you how special she was, the entire evening shift at the nursing home that I worked at that time, Camelot Nursing Home over in Farmington. The entire evening shift clocked out, and we all sat in the waiting room waiting to see if we could go back and see her, but we couldn't. They wouldn't let us. Saturday rolls around, and they're starting to let visitors in, but I didn't get a chance to go see Tanya. But my best friend, gives me a phone call, says, "Hey man, you need to get over and see Tanya. She's asking for you specifically." I was like, "All right, brother." And I turned around and told work, I said, "You know what? Piss off. I'm taking a day off. You guys are working me like a dog. I need a day to kind of recuperate. My withdrawals are getting the better of me." So I came to the conclusion that maybe I need to tell her that I'm in love with her. So I got dressed up really nice, had on this nice button down silk shirt that was black and had all these white oriental dragons on it, nice black jeans, and these nice dress boots. And I mean, I was looking styling, I was styling and profiling, man. Went into the hospital with a dozen of roses. I was going to tell her. And I asked to go back and see her, and I started to go back to ask to see Tanya. And they basically, her sister came out and said, "You can't go back and see her. She's in a coma." Evidently, before I got there, she had died twice. A few hours before I'd gotten there, she had died twice, and they revived her, but she was now in a coma. So I went into the waiting room. I was sitting there waiting to hear some news. So I'm sitting there kind of by myself, dressed like this with a dozen of roses. And her dad comes up and says, "Who are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm Prince Magnum. I'm a friend of Tanya's from work." And he's like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Might I ask who you are, sir?" He said, "Well, I'm Tanya's dad." And I jumped up and I said, "Sir, let me shake the hand of the man who's the father of the woman who saved my life." He's like, "Excuse me?" And I repeated myself. And he said, "I'm not following you." And I told him my story up until that point. And he puts his arm around me. He says, "Son, if you need anything, you say the word. We'll do what we can to get it for you." I was there till about 3 in the morning. So I got there at like 3 in the afternoon, and it's not 3 in the morning. I went home for a little while. Never heard anything, So I stayed there the whole time. I said, I got to go home. I got to get some rest. I'll be back here first, about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I come back in, it's not 8 o'clock in the morning, and Tanya had died one more time through the night. And the family all had to have that conversation that if she went one more time throughout the night, they were going to let her go. And, so that was kind of the talk. "Ooh, I'm scared of the dark. Somebody hold me." So I get back in there, and they basically said, if she goes one more time, we're going to let her go altogether. We can't keep doing this to her. She's not going to make it. Like, that's not how I live anyways. And I knew that. And so I went home at a certain point and got ready for work, came back in, and they basically told us all, they're starting to let us go back and say our goodbyes. And there was 3 of us that were really close to her. My best friend, obviously, who was getting ready to start dating her and everything. And another one of us that was real close, her name was Candy, and myself. They let us all 3 go back. And her family, well, her dad more in particular, more or less said, "Hey, while you guys are back there, tell her it's okay if she wants to let go. We'll understand." And went back And we all, we're all crying and everything. And bear in mind, I'm a neo-pagan, but while I was back there, I read Tanya's favorite passage from the Bible, even though it's not my religion. But I did it for her. And no one had the nerve to say it. I had to be the one to say it. I'll never forget all the tubes and everything hanging out of her. I sometimes still wake up in the middle of the night remembering it, hearing the monitor and everything. I took her hand. Her hand was so cold. She was alive, but she wasn't. And I had to be the one to say, Tanya, if you want to let go, we'll all be okay. It's okay if you want to let go. I had to be the one to say it. And I somehow had inherited 2 1-month coins. I gave one of them to Tanya, and right in front of her dad, in front of my friends, I said, without you, I wouldn't have this one. I said, I have one. I said, but you get the other one, because without you, I wouldn't have gotten it. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for you. You saved my life. And for that, I will forever be grateful. Well, I went back to work. Well, I went into work very scared of what was going to happen next. I knew what was coming. I seen it. And at about 6 o'clock, my director of nursing came back. And she says, Prince Magnum, Tanya just passed. And basically, she not only passed, the woman that got me into sobriety, helped save my life. She passed away before I had a chance to tell her I'd fallen in love with her. And 14 years later, it's still hard to talk about, She was a year older than me. She was 27. At that time, I was 26. She left behind 4 beautiful children, 2 of them being twins. And even though she was getting ready to go through a divorce, she did leave behind a husband that did love her too. They weren't fully divorced yet. The process was beginning. And after her funeral, I did the only thing I knew what to do. And while I was telling sober man, that I had some closure and everything, while I was still on the phone with him, I picked up my 4th step and I got to work on it. After all of these years, I still tell her story, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now. Y'all have to excuse me. I apologize. I still get very emotional because it's still hard to talk about after all this time. Now, Princess Faye is very, very, she's very aware of this story. She knows this story, and has actually left a letter at Tanya's gravesite thanking her for keeping me alive so she can find me. So today, I am sober through not only Alcoholics Anonymous, but the love of a friend who believed that I was worth saving. There's, I will say that when my time comes and I leave this earth, when I'm standing before my higher power, I've got some questions about this one because I don't understand still to this day. I don't get this one. This is one that was hard. Um, there's still some mystery. There's a couple of great mysteries that surround her passing. For example, one of them was, and there, even though as I'm saying this right now, there are some people that swear up and down that she knew that I was going to tell her that she knew it was coming, and that Saturday when she told my best friend that she wanted to see me, she specifically said there was something that we needed to talk about. Um, so I never got a chance to talk to her about it. I don't know what it was. Um, I to this day don't know what it was that we were supposed to talk about. Um, some people say that she already knew and wanted to talk to me about it. Um, I mean, I don't know. I dare not speculate, but that's one of the grand mysteries in my sobriety. We do know that that Wednesday after I talked to her, she was actually talking to our director of nursing at that time, and she basically said that she said, I think I might have made a mistake. Um, like there was something else that she needed to, so we still don't know. It's still a great mystery how she passed. Um, Nobody really knows. I mean, she was 27 years old in great health. We don't know. Many speculate, but no one had, even her autopsy report was inconclusive. We don't know. Um, there are some that said that the last thing that she was supposed to do was help me get sober. That was there. The more religious and spiritual type people will say that her last job here on earth was to help me get sober for whatever reason. Um, that it was my time, and you know, so we don't know. We don't know. It's one of them things. One of the grand mysteries of my sobriety that I'm still scratching my head on. I don't know. You guys know as much about it as I do, and even to this day, I don't know. But I know that I would not be here right now if it wasn't for that woman. She helped me get sober, and she was one of the people that was rooting me on the whole time that I was, in my first month and a half. Um, and again, it's still very hard to talk about, so I do apologize for getting emotional. But if you take anything from this story, if you're struggling with sobriety, if there's one thing that you can take away from this story is you can get sober no matter what happens. If you are truly done with living your life in the bottom of a bottle, then you can get sober no matter what happens. You can have sobriety. You can have the same things that I talk about in Alcoholics Anonymous. Today, I can look at myself in the mirror and say, I love you to me. I love the guy that's looking back at me in the mirror. He's not that bad. He's not that bad of a guy. He's done some bad things in his life, but he's not a bad guy. I love myself for who I am, you know, because deep down, I do want to help everybody find the same things. And you don't have to be an alcoholic or an addict. You could be just a normal, everyday person who's just trying to find their place in life. And I want to help too. help you find your way. And, that is what sobriety's given to me. And there was a time that I was a fallen down drunk, hated the entire world, and I just wanted to watch that world burn. And today, I have a lot of love to give to the entire world. And yeah, it's a cruel and hateful place. But just because it's a cruel and hateful place doesn't mean that there aren't people out there in that cruel and hateful place that don't actually, that I know there's genuine love in this world. And I like to think that I'm one of those people that has genuine love for the people in this world. And that's what's up. Thank you, Mike G. So that if you take anything from my story, that if you're struggling with finding sobriety, whether it's from drugs, alcohol, or you're just trying to find your place in this world, you can have it. You can have it. Because I found what works for me. And it took a wonderful woman who's not with us anymore that I had fallen in love with. She passed away before I had a chance to tell her. But there are a lot of people, again, that say that she already knew. I don't know. But I do know that when I get to the other side, she'll be there waiting for me. And even if you're an atheist, agnostic, whatever, don't take that from me, because that's just how it is. I know she'll be the one to welcome me home, I guess you could say. Real quick, for those that do not know, there are two versions of what we call the 13th step in Alcoholics Anonymous. One of them has to do with, getting into relations before your 1 year of sobriety. The other one is one that Sober Man and I believe in, and that is when your last breath here on earth is a sober breath, you're carrying the message of Alcoholics Anonymous straight into the heavens. And that's the 13th step for me. Even though that's not an actual thing in Alcoholics Anonymous, but that is what we call the 13th, that's what Sober Man and I call the 13th step. So when my last breath here on earth, if it is a sober breath, my higher power willing that I'm used in that capacity, and I pass away, my last breath is a sober breath, and I carry that message into the heavens, I complete the 13th step. And I know Tanya will be there waiting for me. So that is something that I believe in. And I know her and I are going to have a big laugh, a lot of big laughs. We're going to talk about, kids and life and everything. And, that's just what's up, And for the record, I love my wife more than anything in the world. She knows that. And, sobriety has given me a beautiful, wonderful wife. She has never seen me drunk, but she's seen me stand in front of over 200, it was actually about 270 something other alcoholics in recovery. And, she got to hear me talk for like 5 minutes. And when people would go up and talk during that day, they would get an applause. I got a standing ovation. My wife got to see that. And when I sat back down and I said, well, what'd you think? And she smiled, that smile that only a wife can give her husband, and said, it's nothing that I haven't gotten used to seeing you do. And I was almost hoping that she would say, oh, you were amazing, you were wonderful. But no, today I'm very grateful that she said that, that basically, it's like, you are amazing to me. And sobriety's given me that, given me a wife that says that I'm amazing and that I'm wonderful, and she's never seen me drunk. And we have so much fun together. If there's one thing that I've found is perfectly okay in sobriety, it's okay to have fun. And that is the message that I shout out to all of you here on the Prince Magnum channel. if even if you don't get the hot rodding side of it, or the romance side of it, or the stuff like that, you don't get any of that, take away this much, that you can enjoy life without a drink or a drug. Life is still a big party. It is. It's a big party just waiting to happen. And you don't have to be drunk, and you don't have to be stoned to enjoy it. And I do. Believe me, I do. I have so much fun. And you guys get to go along with me on the ride. I'm going to be 41 August the 7th, and the same day it'll be 14 and a half years without a drink or a drug. And I have been having the biggest, wildest ride of my life. It's not been peaches and cream every day. There are some days it's hard. The day that my grandmother passed, well, the day that we buried my grandma, one of my grandmas, I was celebrating 14 years sober the same exact day. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. The same day that my grandmother, we were burying one of my grandmothers, I was 14 years sober the same day. I was celebrating 14 years sober. And I couldn't see a more fitting time to bury my grandmother. Even though I'm supposed to be celebrating 14 years of continuous sobriety, my grandmother watched me got to see me sober and at my best. How awesome is that? There are so many of us in Alcoholics Anonymous that do not have that, but I do. My grandmother always said, Prince Magnum, if you ever start drinking again, I don't care how old you are, I will turn you over my knee if you start drinking again. I will not lose my oldest grandson to alcohol. My grandmother. And she passed away getting to see me sober. How awesome is that? She got to see that. Mike, thank you for being here with me. I appreciate that. It means the world to me because I know you're over in the UK and I know how late it is right now. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know it's like 3 a.m. where you're at. You rest and you rest well. I am very fortunate that I am in sobriety today because I have some wonderful blessings. We will, Mike. You do the same. Thank you for being here. You're an amazing and wonderful friend. All of you are. Hey, what's going on, Kevin? Hey, you ain't late to the party. You're just in time. You're just in time to hear me talk about how sobriety has changed my life. My grandmother got to see me sober. Queen, it's people like you, Queen, that are here on the Prince Magnum channel that that help make me who I am. For those of you that do not know, I'm going to openly admit, I am a selfish alcoholic still. How selfish is selfish? I still need every last person in Alcoholics Anonymous to help me stay sober. This is not a one-man job. Hey, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that, man. Happy 4th of July to you and your family, especially that little nephew. So many wonderful blessings. Like I said, I am a selfish alcoholic. I need every last, one of the members of Alcoholics Anonymous. And there's millions of members of AA, of Alcoholics Anonymous around the world. There's millions of us. Go to any town, kick a couple stones, you'll find a few of us. That's how it is. Hey, what's up, Chairman? I didn't know you were here. Well, you rest well, brother. It's good to see you. I didn't know you snuck in the back door. That's what's up. He ninja'd his way in through the skylight of the Prince Magnum channel. That's what's up. But I am a selfish alcoholic. I need every last member of Alcoholics Anonymous. But to tell you how really selfish I am, I need all of you out there in the Maverick Nation. All of you in the Maverick Nation. And how many of you are in the Maverick Nation? Over 1,000 of you right now. In the Maverick Nation right now, as I'm talking to you, there's over 1,000 of you. That is how selfish I am to help me stay sober. Right now, with you being here and being with me, you are helping me save my life. Even after 14 years of continuous sobriety, this is still a life and death situation for me. That should tell you how serious alcoholism is for me. I got up today and, I found it not necessary to take a drink today. And any day that still happens is still truly a miracle. But I still need all of you to help carry me through the day. My higher power doesn't speak to me through the rustling of the leaves when the wind blows. My higher power speaks through all of you. So if you've been feeling down and feeling low and looking for that reason to keep going today, let me say that right now, just you being here with me right now is helping me stay sober. You are helping me save my life. You are important to me. You are awesome to me. You are special, no matter who you are, no matter what's happening in your life. You are truly amazing because you guys are here with me right now, helping me save my life today. That is the power of Alcoholics Anonymous. That is the power that's been given to me, that I can be sober and turn to all of you and say thank you for being here with me. Thank you for helping me save my life today. If you're ever feeling low today, didn't think you were worth anything, you are worth something just by being here with me right now. When you go to bed tonight and you look at yourself in the mirror, before you go to bed, you could say to you, I helped save someone's life today, because alcoholism is still a life and death situation for me. I get up with it every morning and I go to bed with it every night. That Hey, I get it. My wife's stuck at work right now. I miss her when she's at work, but when she's home, I'm very grateful. So if you were feeling low, you don't need to feel low anymore. You guys are here with me right now. You're helping me save my life today. You're helping me continue to find my worth on this earth. And my worth, if there's one message I have to say, is life is worth enjoying without a drink or a drug. And I do. Believe me, I do. And you guys all come with me on the ride. And we've been having a lot of fun even through this pandemic. We've had a lot of fun, haven't we? We've had a lot of fun. I've been having a blast. You guys are amazing. You guys are the Maverick Nation. And I can't thank you all enough for being here with me tonight. That's what's up. Little did I know, if you'd have told me over 14 years ago where I'd be at today, I'd have told you you were full of baloney, full of balagna. But here we are now, and we're having a good time. So if you were feeling low today, I hope you're not anymore. And if you're watching the playback, we're having a good time. I'm enjoying life, and I hope you all are enjoying it with me too. That's what's up. I'm so glad that you were all here with me. You know, some days it's a struggle. Other days comes just as natural as breathing. But every day is still truly a blessing in sobriety, let me tell you. So, if we still have any wonderful members of the Sunnies here right now, I know y'all, and thank you guys for being here with me. Yeah, I need to eat. I ate earlier, but I need to eat something again because I'm feeling it a little bit. So I need to go and grab me a little bite to eat. Thank you so much for that, Kevin. I appreciate that. It means, you guys are awesome. Again, I'm blessed. I'm blessed with the enjoyment of sobriety. You guys are amazing. Oh, Queen, I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna go in there and uh, grab the maple syrup, start drinking it down, as I'm eating sugar cubes. No, I'm not. I still got some ice cream cake in there. Yum, yum. Not much. Right, right. Oh my gosh. You know, I'll tell you right now that no, yeah, I'm not. Um, you know, I'm very blessed with sobriety. You guys, for those that don't know, Queen Bee watches out. She watches my health when Princess Faye isn't around, and in the live stream to keep an eye on me, make sure I don't get into too much trouble. Queen Bee is one of the greats here on the print. She's one of our very important lady mavericks. Yeah, you want an ice cream cake for your birthday, huh? I might just have to do that. That's yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Hmm. I know, I know. You want an ice cream cake for your birthday. Oh my goodness, that's some good stuff too. It was good. Oh my goodness. You want one of the Oreo ones, right? One of the Oreo ice cream cakes like I made in the last. Yeah, that was awesome. Again, I'm blessed. I am blessed with wonderful people in sobriety. You guys are awesome. I mean, and Queen Bee, she watches out for me. And I finally got to hear her voice. To put a voice with the name. Well, if you're wanting regular cake, that's Princess Faye's department. That's Princess Faye's department. But ice cream cake, that's mine. Love that stuff. You know, and I finally Hershey shavings. I might have to try that. See if I can make an ice cream cake with Hershey's chocolate. Yeah, Queen Bee watches me like a hawk. She gets all motherly, and I'm like, I know I'm older than Queen, like quite a bit older than Queen. I know I am. By at least, I'm thinking at least 15 years. I know I'm very much older than her. But she watches me like a hawk, like a like big time. Uh, Make sure I don't get into too much trouble. Um, but that's okay. That's again. Oh, well, you're not. Honestly, you don't sound that old, really. You really do not sound that old. 32, my goodness. I honestly wouldn't guess that. By your voice alone, I mean, because you don't sound like a 32-year-old. Honestly, I figured you more, listening to your voice. I honestly figured you more for your early to mid 20s, honestly. Enjoy that while you can. I mean, most people guess me in my 30s, and they used to guess me in my mid 20s. I believe it too. I believe it too. Um, you know. Um, it's just one of the joys of sobriety, you know. Again, we're getting to that point where I do need to shut it down. I do need to go grab me a bite to eat. I'm not sure what I'm going to eat, but I know I'm going to eat something. Um, you know, I'm going to be 41 this year, Queen. In August the 7th, I'm going to be 41. Um, Ian, you're awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, most people would be shocked to know. I'd believe that too. Well, I've seen a picture of your hubby. He doesn't look that old either, and I honestly would not guess him. If I'd guess him like in his early 20s, seeing a picture of your hubby. Um, and for those that do not know, yeah, yeah, um, I cannot believe that I'm going to be 41 this year. I cannot believe that, and yeah, I seen that when you said TFZ does not look that old. He really does not, and he's a good guy, real good guy. I mean, I think the world of him too. And again, that just proves my point again and again and again that there are so many of you in the Maverick Nation that I've gotten the chance to get to know, and I am truly, truly blessed. Um, which brings to mind, yeah, Harold, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that because you don't look that old either, Harold. You really don't. I don't want to be 14 again. Oh my God, I hated 14. I hated 14. I hated my teen years. I hated my teen. I will say that the greatest time that I've really got to enjoy, if there was one life, yeah, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that. But a lot of people are like, oh, I would go back to being, this age. If there was one age I could go back and relive, it would be 26, right? Right about the time. I would say right about about 3 months sober. Yeah, yeah. Um, I would relive that time when I was really starting to get coming about 3 months sober up until I would say about a year and a half sober. I would relive that again because there was so much wonder and joy in those early days of sobriety. There was so much that I didn't know, and it was like a huge discovery process, and it was so exciting. I mean, I would relive that again. I would totally relive that again. I mean, I would totally relive that. Day after Christmas, my goodness. Um, Princess Faye just turned 27 earlier this year, and she does not look no 27. By the way, I'll tell you a funny story. Uh, Back when Princess Faye was 21, we were still fairly new to marriage. I'm like mid 30s at this time. And I'm working, I'm still fairly new working at the McDonald's that I'm at. One of the older guys, he seen me give Princess Faye a kiss, and he's like, hey, it'll be about enough of that. Teasing me. I said, that's my wife, man. He's like, that's your wife? That young lady is your wife? I said, yes, sir. That is my wife. And he shakes my hand. He says, good job. Good job. He's like, wait a minute. How old is she? I said, she's 21. How old are you? And I was like 35. And he's like, that's what's up. He shakes my hand even harder. he's like, good job. She's a good looking young lady. He's like, what? He's like, you got to tell me your secret. You got to tell me your secret. And, that's one of the, yeah. I will be on for my birthday. I definitely will. Yeah. He totally shook my hand. He's like, I got to hear your secret. And I told him, I said, just find a young single lady. Yeah. Oh, my wife is beautiful. She's a gorgeous woman. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the husband, she is a beauty. Let me say right now, okay? And I apologize to all the ladies out there when I say this because I believe there's no such thing as an ugly woman. Okay, there really is no such thing as an ugly woman. Physically speaking, that's just me. Okay, there's no such thing as a physically ugly woman. There are some women that have ugly personalities, but that's another subject for another time. But that being said, um, physically and personality wise, I have the most beautiful wife in the world. Um, I still chase after her like a teenager. I still chase after her like I never actually caught her. Okay. And this is one of the joys that sobriety has given me, that I could be this way, you know. Um, when and I openly admit that I occasionally tease with some of my lady coworkers. I'll teasingly flirt, but they know that I'm not serious. They definitely know I'm not serious. And I tell them straight up honest, I'm no offense, but I mean, you're all sweet and everything, but you know, the only woman that's really for me is, Princess Faye. They know this and they're totally cool. They let me, they let me tease and joke with them. But that being said, there is one line that I will never say to any other woman but my wife. This is only for her. Because I'm still a teenager at heart, and y'all know about Project Spirit, my 75 Ford Maverick, Project Spirit. I still, the only woman that'll ever get to hear these words out of my mouth is Princess Faye, and that is, do you want to go cruising? And I know that's almost sounds silly, but let me explain. When I say I'm still a teenager at heart, back when I was a teenager, cruising was a thing. Going out, cruising the strip. Yeah. I still, that was the thing when I was a teenager. You would get in your car with your sweetheart or your buddies, and you would go cruising the main drag in town. You cruise up one way, cruise back the other. That's all you did. And if you were a true hot rodder like me, you wanted to be seen in the coolest car with the hottest gal in town. I have the cool car, Project Spirit, my 1975 Ford Maverick. And the hottest gal, no matter where I'm at, no matter where I'm at in on this earth, will always be my wife. So to all of you, to a lot of you ladies out there, no offense, but the hottest gal, no matter where I'm at, will always be my wife. So she will be the only one in this world that will ever hear out of my mouth, do you want to go cruising? Because I still, like I said, I'm a teenager at heart, and she will be the only one that ever hears those words, because no matter where I'm at, she is always the hottest gal in any town I'm in. So she'll be the only one that ever hears those words, do you want to go cruising? And that is that. I mean, that's just the way it is. So no offense to any of you gals out there. I know y'all beautiful in your own special way. To me, there's no such thing as a physically ugly woman. Uh, I think women are beautiful in their own special way. But I mean, physical is just the outer covering. Give me a woman that's got a good personality. And you know, to say it mildly, I've met some drop dead gorgeous women, but the moment they started talking, they got ugly in a real hurry. But then I've met some women that that most guys wouldn't give a second glance to. But the moment they started talking, they became the most beautiful women I'd ever met. And give me one of those gals that they have a good personality any day of the week, and the most beautiful woman, both physically and personality wise, is my wonderful wife. I got the best of both worlds, no question about it. She's a beautiful, wonderful woman, and I can't. You know, I'm very blessed in my sobriety to have a wonderful woman like that. And I'm very grateful that my higher power has given me a wonderful wife like that. She's never seen me drunk. She's seen me fall down on my face in life, problems other than alcohol, but she's never seen me drunk. She's never seen me at my worst. And for that, I am truly, truly grateful. We are at that 2 hour marker. I do need to go take care of my blood sugar. I'm starting to feel that little bit of shakiness and everything. So I do need to go take care of me. I want to thank you all for being here with me today. If any of you have a YouTube channel, by all means, drop the link to your to your YouTube channel in the chat. You do not need my permission. Do it. And if you have a Twitch channel, do the same. If you're on Mixer, Periscope, it does not matter the platform. If you have some sort of channel on any social media platform that you want to get out there into the public, feel free to drop the link or the link to one of your videos in the chat so we can find you. Okay? Do not feel that you need my permission. Please do so at any time. Especially if you have a wrench. If you do not have a wrench, ask one of the moderators to go over and grab it. They will drop it for you. I know they will. I have wonderful moderators. They are my Maverick mechanics. They're amazing people. And I'm very grateful for every one of you out there and our Maverick mechanics. You guys are awesome. So thank you all so much for being with me here in the live stream. Thank you for helping me get through another day of continuous sobriety. Before we get to where we let it out as usual, for those that do not know, our dear friend Think Different, who is in the live stream, I know kind of lurking in the background. Think Different. I know you have had your struggles too. I won't out your struggles. That is up to you to, it's Alcoholics Anonymous. I can tell on me, but I don't tell on any of you out there. I won't tell your problems, but I'll tell on me any day of the week. But I know you have your struggles. So if at any time, I'm going to be going to Jackson and that sort of thing. There you go. I'm going to be going to Jackson, Jackson, Missouri for the car meet. If you would like to be there with me, I'd like it if you were there. Real quick, Queen, Ian, either one, any one of the mods who's got my email address, could y'all drop that in there for me? So yeah, drop my email address and in the chat if you guys would real quick. Normally if Sean was here, he would do that for us, but Think Different, grab that email address, shoot me an email quick. Yeah, I will. Shoot me an email so I can give you my phone number. I'd like, if you're available Saturday, I'd like you to go with me Saturday to that car show. Princess Faye won't be able to be there, and I could use a hand. I could use your help that day if you'd like to be there. It'd be a great joy if you were there with me, because I hate doing car shows by myself. It's more of a big car meet, but I'd really like you to be there. I could use an extra hand if you're interested. So that being said, real quick, if anyone's got my email address. What's going on, Mike? We're getting ready to wind it down for the night. Big stream, though. Big stream. We got raided. You believe that? We got raided. That's what's up. Hang on a second here. I'm going to jump into the chat real quick. Yeah, I'm jumping into my own live stream. There you go. Thank you, Queen. Never mind. I don't have to jump into my own live stream. Um, Anybody who needs my email address, grab that. Man, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Couldn't imagine life without you guys. Man, oh man. And sometime, Ian, you and I gotta talk. I'd love to, just talk with you. I would just love to talk with you. But anybody who needs my email address, anybody who needs my email address, yeah, you typed it right. Yeah, that's it. Feel free to grab said email address and shoot me shoot me an email, and I would be glad to send you my phone number. We could totally have a nice chit chat, hang out, on the phone. And if anything's eating your lunch, you just need a friendly ear to talk to, I'm all ears. And you're one of the greats. For those that do not know, Mr. Gamerian BRFC, he is a veteran of Her Majesty's Royal Marine Corps. He's a veteran of Her Majesty's Royal Marines. He did his time in the Royal Marines back in the early 2000s, and spent some of that time over in Egypt, which has been a tough area of it's been a hot political mess over there. And he did his time serving Her Majesty over in Egypt, and he is one of the true greats within the Maverick Nation. And let me say right now, it is a true honor and a privilege to have him as a member of the Maverick Nation. I am truly honored every day that he is in my live stream to have someone so illustrious, within the Maverick Nation. Ian, I want to make sure that everyone knows how amazing you are. No, I didn't rehearse this. This is not a soundbite. This is how truly awesome you are. That everybody should know how amazing you are. And, let me say, I don't do sound bites. I don't rehearse this. It comes from the heart. And he is one of the true greats here on the Prince Magnum channel. He's one of the people that, I'm going to say it right now, right to the camera. I, Prince Magnum, have my heroes too. And Ian is one of my heroes. Mr. Gamerian BRFC is one of my heroes. I look up to him because of the time he served for his country. And even though I'm here in the United States and he's all the way over there in the United Kingdom, he is still a hero to me. Yes, I said it. And I want everyone to know how important he is to me. And so if you've not checked out his channel, you should do so. He's one of the greats, and he deserves more notoriety here on YouTube. And in a lot of ways, I feel he deserves more notoriety even than me. I'm grateful for the notoriety that I have on YouTube, but he deserves even more than me. And I consider him one of the finest within the Maverick Nation. And I couldn't imagine it is. That day will come when we all get together and hang out. Lots of hugs, lots of high fives. That is for sure. Lots of stories. That day will come when we all get to hang out together. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm already looking forward to it. So again, I want to reiterate that, that all of you are special. All of you are amazing. But there's some of you I've just got to really shine that spotlight on because you guys deserve it. So that does bring us to that spot where I do need to kind of wind it down for the night. Thank you all. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here with me tonight and helping me stay sober of one more 24-hour. Normally, here on the Prince Magnum channel, we let out a certain way. You know, there's a certain way that we let out. But in Sober Talk, we have a very special way that we let out, and it's only for Sober Talk. So this is how we end it specifically for Sober Talk, and it goes like this. At day's end, I hope all of you out there need me as much as I need you. I need every last one of you out there. Every one of you. And with that being said, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.